The one thing that every student have in common is that we are broke. We might be divided by boundaries, but we are all united on that empty pocket. So in this video, I'm going to lay out a couple of methods and ways that I use myself in order to earn significant more income as a freshman student in Germany. I'm only going to talk about the realistic and the practical parts that I use in order to go from broke to a little less broke. So back in 2023, before I even had this idea of coming and studying in Germany, I came across a bunch of videos talking about e-commerce, dropshipping, all of these different get-rich guru stuff online that were really famous at the time, but they were very unrealistic and impractical for me at that time. But what they did was inspire me to start a small business that helped me finance my visa procedure to come and study in Germany. This was my foundation in understanding how money works and how the world works. But after coming to Germany, things changed. First of all, in Germany, you have a lot of restrictions. As a student on a student visa, you cannot do stuff like freelance or even start a company. There are some workarounds where you can explicitly ask for permission to the Behörde, but that's a whole other procedure that I don't want to get into. Another thing is that you are limited by 20 hours a week, so you can't really be working as you want to, and you can get in trouble if you transgress these rules. Now, with this as the basis, when I arrived in Germany, I actually started working immediately because I had my working permit in my visa because it was included. My first job was as a waste management analysis, and I was working there for 1 month where I was earning around 15 euros per hour. This job was very stressful and it was during the winter, and I actually had a bonus and I earned a little bit over 1400 euros during that period. The second job I did was as a delivery biker, which is a job that most international students do at least once. And in the university cities, around 90% of the deliveries are done by students. Most of the time you get minimum pay from this job, which is around 12 to 14 euros. At the time I was earning 12 euro at that job, but you get enough tips that is pretty handy to run up your months. Another category of job that I did was Umzug, which is like relocation, or you can say moving things out, like helping people to move things from if they are like moving out and changing houses. And there are a lot of platforms out there where you can see job offers of Umzug and you can typically apply. This is a pretty neat job because there are a ton of platforms out there where you can typically see the job offers. Usually they will range between 12 to even 15 euros. And it is a good job because most of the time you'll be going and working for around 2 to 4 hours and you will get paid directly in hand. Another type of job that I didn't do myself is babysitting or tutoring, but I know a lot of people who do this, especially tutoring, whether it is English or even mathematics. And if you are in university, most of the time, if you are in the higher semesters, you can get the role of a tutor and you can assist a teacher either in the exercises or any other task. Most of the time, the teachers are going to send an email where they are looking for someone to help them in their various tasks. And this can vary a lot depending on the university or if you are doing this in a private setting, but you can earn around 14 euros per hour while doing tutoring, especially, or even babysitting. There's also a lot of platforms where you can just upload your proof of knowledge and some of your documents, and you can be a tutor online and you can help people actually learn subjects like mathematics, English, IT, or even any other subject of your liking. Like I said, I didn't do this job myself, but I know a lot of people who do this, so I decided it's worth mentioning in here. Another job that I did was working in a warehouse where I worked for around 8 months, and this was actually one of my best jobs because it was the first one that I did in a professional and a well-structured company, and I was earning around 16.5 euros while doing this. Surprisingly, warehouse jobs pay very well in Germany, and this is also because there's a lot of people who don't want to do this stuff since it's like practical and physical work, I can say. But this was actually a good field. Most of my German I actually learned while doing and while working in this company, and most of the time you don't need any experience to work in a warehouse because what I was doing was just handling packaging. It was mostly medical products, but they were nothing dangerous or anything that required specific experience to handle those products. But you can work in a warehouse, and if you have something like a Staplerschein, which is the driving license for this machine here, you can work in a warehouse and you can earn significantly more, because when I was working there, it was actually a skill that they were actually needing and it was very difficult to find someone with it. So I eventually had to leave the job because school was catching up on me, but I decided I would get myself into the field that I am actually studying, which is AI. And it took me around 5 months to actually get a job in this field because it is so saturated and a lot of people want to do the work, and also because I didn't have experience, which I made a video talking about the job situation, how I got my job and all of that. Link here, you can watch that video if you're interested. But as a summary, what I had to do was build a whole portfolio, get myself into the trenches of programming, and really go deep into working on projects for my GitHub, which I did, and that proved to be useful for getting the job that I actually got. And in this job I actually earn around 15 euros per hour, but the catch is that I actually get way more benefits, or employer benefits you can call them, in this job more than I did in all of my old previous jobs. I get my health insurance taken care of. I earn around 15 euros per hour on contract on this job as an AI developer, but at the end of the month I typically receive around 1200 to 1300 euros in my bank account. Basically, this current job, although it pays me just 15 euros per hour on contract, I typically receive all the workers' benefits, like health insurance is covered, I have like vacation periods which are paid and all of that. And this is a really lucrative job for me because I get a fixed amount of around 1200 to 1300 euros per month each month. And although life is not very cheap, which I will make a video talking about how much I spend typically on a monthly basis, I enjoy what I am doing at this current job. Just the fact that I am working in the AI field is very motivating because I am not distracted from what I'm actually studying, and I get to enjoy and learn more and acquire some skills that will compound in the future. On top of all of this, I have tried some side hustles, some that worked and some that didn't. For example, recently I have been getting a lot into indie hacking and building micro-SaaS products, just like this recent YouTube AI assistant that I built, and the current that I'm building a Pomodoro. Okay. I want to try a lot of side hustles before the real 9 to 5 grind really starts, and for that I have been getting a lot into indie hacking and building SaaS products recently, like this YouTube AI assistant that I built, and also this Pomodoro timer that I am building currently. It's a productivity app. But what I really believe in is the fact that acquiring skills is more important than earning money, which is why I'm really enjoying building this tool, because I get to learn a lot by doing them, and I get to actually see some real products from my knowledge, and I see the evolution of what I am doing. None of this app is generating money at the moment, but I believe that the skills that I'm learning will compound a lot more in the future, and I really enjoy building these tools. I made a list of all the things that I have tried and the other kind of jobs that I didn't, but which are also very lucrative and that have a low barrier to entry, meaning you don't need to have a lot of experience to really try these ones, and I have them listed here. And the important thing is that you shouldn't stress about making money, but you should stress about skill acquisition, because when you are young and you learn stuff, it compounds, and in the future you are going to earn way more money from all those skills that you actually learned than you'll be earning money now just from pure labor. So stay focused, stay healthy. I'm always rooting for you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the buttons for the algorithm. It was Matt, and I will see you on the other side. Goodbye.